Floyd Mayweather was left completely stunned after watching Gervonta tank Davis knock out a full-blown heavyweight during sparring ahead of the Jake Paul fight. Floyd said, "People still don't get it. Size doesn't rule boxing. You can be big, but if the other man has speed, precision, and perfect timing, your weight won't save you." He explained that boxing is a sport of balance. Not bulk and tank just reminded the world of that truth by folding a man who outweighed him by dozens of pounds. It wasn't just power that did it. It was timing, patience, and pure ring IQ, the same formula Floyd built his empire on.
Anybody can be knocked out. So I don't put nothing past nobody. I can be knocked out. Hit me from the blind side. I mean, that's most time how fighters get knocked out, with the hook. You can't see a hook coming because it comes from the blind side. But as far as with boxing, I don't really need to beef with. I really don't need to beef with nobody in a sport of boxing. Even though it could be some people I really don't like. I don't need to beef with nobody. They ain't got what I got. They boxers. I'm a businessman. And then on the outside, most time, a motherfucker got beef with me because they ain't got what I got.
Davis has always tested himself against men who tower over him. It's been part of his DNA long before Jake Paul even entered the conversation. His trainers say it's not about ego. It's about discipline. Sparring with bigger fighters keeps Tank sharp, quick, and unshakable under real pressure. Every punch he throws against those giants trains him to deliver precision, not just power. On the other side, Jake Paul's camp is doing the opposite, surrounding him with smaller, slippery sparring partners to help him adapt to Tank's speed. Both camps know this fight won't be decided by height or reach. It'll come down to who controls distance, who keeps composure, and who stays sharper when the storm hits. Tank's body was built through years of conditioning and punishment. Jake's strategy is about closing space and landing the one perfect shot. Both are preparing for a war where brains will beat brawn.
Or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, you know, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. I mean, he's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back. This story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. It hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all the ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Because I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, you know, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the level of heavyweight that, you know, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. Honestly, I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Like, you know, just kind of letting them know. No, like, you know, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring, and that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. You know, I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Reports leaking out of Davis's camp paint a chilling picture. Gym regulars have watched him repeatedly drop men far taller and heavier. These aren't exaggerated stories. These are real moments witnessed up close. Big, muscular sparring partners walk in with confidence, thinking their size will intimidate him. Minutes later, they're wobbling, wondering what hit them. It's not just the impact that shocks people. It's how effortlessly Tank finds the chin. His compact stance, explosive rotation, and snap make his punches feel like lightning trapped inside a human frame. Those who underestimated him walked out believers. His power doesn't fade when the opponent grows, it amplifies because his precision is surgical. And with every knockout, Tank sends a quiet warning across the sport. You can't measure danger by the scale.
So look at this. Gervonta Davis knocked out heavyweight in brutal sparring session. And it just makes me think, you're willing to go spar with heavyweights, but you're not willing to go fight people that you should be fighting. You know what I mean? You're fighting Lamont Roach. His sparring partners was like, man, I was about to spar Tank. He was sparring this big boy, a heavyweight boy. And Tank hit him so hard, he was on the ropes like this, hanging. I thought he died. I was like, man, I hope you don't do this stuff to me. When Davis asked to confirm whether it was true, the WBA lightweight champion said, stuff be happening. Best not to get in there with me. That's it. This guy has all the skills in the world to knock out even heavyweights in sparring, and yet he won't fight Shakur Stevenson. He won't fight Teofimo Lopez. He won't fight anyone that he needs to fight to become great. He's fighting Frank Martin and Lamont Roach. You know what I mean? It's just truly crazy. But hey, it's his career. If he wants to just make money, the easiest money that he can without fighting the hardest competition, so be.
For one, well-known analysts pointed out something fans keep missing, judging. Gervonta, by one slower performance, completely ignores his record of finishing elite opponents. Even on nights where he didn't deliver fireworks, he never lost composure. That calm under fire is something only true veterans master. Jake Paul has heart, no doubt. But he hasn't yet faced the kind of high-pressure moments that separate fighters from entertainers. For Tank, adversity is familiar. It's where he learns, adapts, and grows stronger. For Jake, it's still new ground. Fans predicting an upset forget how many world-class opponents Tank has dismantled through patience, timing, and experience. Skill isn't just what you show when it's easy, it's what keeps you alive when it's chaos. And that's where Gervonta lives.
Jake Paul is not beating Tank Davis. Can't believe I actually have to make this video, but let's break this down. Fact that there's actually credible names in the boxing industry saying that Jake Paul's gonna KO Tank Davis is wild. Look, I know Tank Davis's last performance against Lamont Roach was not that good. And in recent years, he's devalued his stock as a fighter by cherry picking, being extremely inactive, and just straight up fighting lazy sometimes. But let's not forget the offensive powerhouse that Tank Davis is. When he's on, he's one of the best knockout punchers in the sport today. He usually fights very economical the first few rounds, whether that's by strategy or that's just a habit he's had ever since he started boxing. But he does. He starts out very slow in the first few rounds. But once he starts to let his hands go and that snowball starts running downhill, there's almost nothing in the sport of boxing that can stop that. You need a guy who has elite defense to be able to stop an offensive assault like that. Only guys like Shakur Stevenson, Jaron Ennis, and maybe Devin Haney have the ability to stop that. And then we have Jake Paul. Yes, he's 6'2". Yes, he's going to be 200 pounds in the ring. But as you can see with his fight with Tommy Fury, he has poor defense. Whenever he faces another boxer who actually knows what they're doing, once they let their hands go, Jake doesn't know what to do. He's not comfortable defending, whether that's moving his feet or moving his head or just having a tight high guard. He doesn't do it. He gets fatigued and starts dropping his hands, and that would be fine if he had good movement to make up for it, but he doesn't. He has some pretty decent offense, but he mainly throws punches and combinations for the first 4 or 5 rounds and then gets fatigued. He's not a true one-punch knockout artist, and he's not a very good strategic fighter either when it comes to winning decisions. So what's going to happen is Jake Paul's going to throw combinations for the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then right when he gets tired, Tank's going to come on strong and start unloading with the hardest punches that Jake Paul has ever been hit with. And he'll get stopped. It might not be a one-punch knockout, but Jake Paul will get stopped.
Boxing legend Carl Froch voiced genuine concern about this matchup. Not from hate, but from heart. He warned that this kind of size gap can't be taken lightly. In traditional boxing, matchups are carefully controlled to protect both fighters' safety. But this spectacle blurs those lines. Froch admitted he understands why it's happening. Entertainment sells, and the world wants to see it. But beneath the buzz, his veteran instinct worries about damage control. He's been in wars. He's tasted blood, pain, and exhaustion. So when he speaks about safety, it carries weight. Frock isn't trying to kill the excitement. He's reminding everyone that no matter the payday or hype, one wrong punch can change a life. His message was simple. Make it thrilling, but make it safe.
I mean, I don't really take Jake Paul that serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. Swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he does so much wrong. It's just, everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level. And then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different. It's like a different sport.